Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. That is the last game of day number 1 of StarSeries Season 7. That's right. StarSeries Season 7 has started off today with a bang. 4 games in total, and this is the 4th one of today. Menace, the team that we just saw, is going to be going up against Team aSpera, the team that we have actually seen in the qualifiers last Saturday or Thursday night. If you were here to watch it, then kudos to you for watching that late Dota. But aSpera actually did not make it out of the qualifiers, but they still got invited afterwards to fill a spot. Of course, quite a few players in there that have good connections, I would say, in the CIS scene. Of course, with me is Vikerman. Vikerman, welcome back, and welcome to the Doom and Timbersaw first 2 pickups.
Whoa. Okay, I'm happy already. What a cool start. Yeah, Doom, underrated hero. Timbersaw, not underrated, is just really, really strong. You don't typically need to draft these heroes this early, but I like that they have. They want to, start us off with a kick, and this is a pretty cool team. It's very, very multinational. I think you said Go Audio is Swedish. Yeah, so. And then Zizou is Romanian. He was one of the 2 dudes that got kicked off of Kaipi when they did their big roster shuffle. Yeah. And then Inquisitor, Sharfik, of course, well-known CIS scene players. Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I like this start. Yeah. Timbersaw is amazing against Visage because Visage has that high MR, but pure damage doesn't care.
One thing that I want to point out, aSpera, like I said, they didn't make it out of the qualifiers. The team that they lost to played a Doom. Perhaps they took some lessons from that. So maybe. Who knows? Timbersaw, though, we've seen Timbersaw being a pretty high priority ban so far. I don't think we've seen him today yet, have we?
Yep, this is our first time seeing him, although he was banned twice.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of other bans, they're quite standard with the Nature's Prophet, OD, IO, and Batrider as well. I mean, IO Batrider is basically, snooze. Visage Lone Druid, 2 strong pickups. Also Lone Druid, not one of the heroes that you normally see picked up fairly early on. But I like it nonetheless. It's a very tanky hero. Doesn't really care that much about Doom. And that's, of course, one of the bigger things. I mean, you can Doom the Bear, who cares? You can Doom Lone Druid, nobody cares either. So
I think you're gonna, yeah.
Doesn't really do anything against Doom, at least. And of course, that's one of the things that you can do if Doom gets picked up first. You pick up heroes that don't care about Doom.
Yeah, and they don't want to face Abaddon, so they do ban him, even though it wasn't that effective in the last game. Here's the thing: this lineup that aSpera is bringing is actually quite a bit better if they filled it out with an Abaddon than Poseidon's lineup last game, because Abaddon's this hero who's kind of asymmetrical. Like, if you're ahead, he can absolutely secure games for you from a support role. Like, if you have one hero who's just going really, really hard, and he's has a lot of items and he's very, very powerful, the other team is going to concentrate all their disables on him, right? And that's when Abaddon's just going to win you the game, because he'll throw down the shield and suddenly you kill him. And Doom and Timbersaw, especially Timbersaw, can absolutely just take over a game with an Abaddon supporting them. So I really like how responsive these bans for Menace and these picks for Menace have been. Like the Lone Druid in response to the Doom, and then the Abaddon ban once they saw the Timbersaw.
Yeah, and they pick up a Rubik for aSpera. I'm actually also not quite sure if that's the right move, because what can he steal so far? And again, you can basically counter. But yeah, perhaps.
It's not very good, but it's very fun to
steal a bear. It's very fun to have a bear. Everybody wants to have a bear. I want to have a bear. Yeah. So we have Lifestealer and Weaver banned out. So 2 strong carry/duo core pickups that you normally see in a duo core lineup. And also heroes that don't... Well, actually Weaver does care about the Doom. Lifestealer does not care that much about a Doom, I guess.
It's pretty good, actually, because he can't rage.
Yeah. He can't lifesteal. I mean, it's still...
It does disable Feast since the patch, since 6.78. So actually, Doom is better than against Lifestealer than a lot of people think. I was surprised, for a lot of reasons, I was surprised we didn't see more Doom at TI3. Really only Tongfu liked him.
Yeah, look where that got them. Actually, no, they were doing quite well. No, they were doing quite well.
They could easily have top 3, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, it was only 1 hook shot that made the difference, right?
10 seconds remaining.
The memories. Oh, I saw a video again. Holy Hexer made a TI3 video.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet.
It's a good one.
Nice.
It just makes me think again. I want to be back. But oh well, we are back. We are in Star Ladder, of course. Basically, the day 1, the tournament that says, you know what, time post TI3 is over, and we're back in the regular Dota season. So let's put it behind us and look towards TI4. That's what we're gonna do.
Road to TI4, man.
Indeed.
Patch that.
I mean, that's what these two teams are doing. Both are fairly underdog teams in the entire scene right now, and they're gonna try and put everything on it to try and make it happen. Actually, you know what I just realized? It's very good that TI is actually in the summer holidays. So if players want to say like, you know what, this year I'm gonna totally focus on Dota, so I'm gonna take a gap year. You normally when you take a gap year, you go to Australia or something. Well, these can actually play Dota, and it's a school year, and it can actually work out.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't have to take 2 years. It's not awkward. You can just sort of cleanly separate your schedule. But I don't actually know how seriously are Menace planning to play this year. I guess they're going to see and decide from there. But yeah. I know that they're like a team of friends. Like they don't have like a team house or any of that other stuff. Like let's see how well we do. And they're all very talented players. I kind of like both these lineups. Gyrocopter is a hero that Doom's going to be fairly effective against, but they can absolutely just go over the top. Like they have a lot more damage in the long run. TA is a nice pick, though, to try to equalize that damage. And Sharfik, TA is one of his better heroes, I think.
Yeah, for sure. One of the more fun heroes to watch him play. Also, a very aggressive one. I like the Chen Rubik combination as well. Also a support combination, well, semi-support in the case of the Chen. But that has a very high roaming potential and maybe tries to make sure that a first blood happens in mid or something. Talking about mid, there's no mid hero picked up just yet by Menace, or at least assuming that the Lone Druid is going to be offlane, and we're going to see a trialing with the Visage Shadow Demon Gyrocopter, which, by the way, could turn into an aggressive trialing fairly easy if they want to go for it. I like Lone Druid more on the safe lane than on the offlane anyway. But mid hero is still to be picked up, and they only have 13 seconds to do so.
I think you're probably right. It's going to most likely be Lone Druid solo safe. It's a lot more dangerous to run solo Lone Druid on the off these days. It's still possible, and I mean, it's not like they have a Bane, so there is that option. But I think it's more likely to be that aggressive try, but we'll see. Honestly, they do have some options.
Yeah, well, I don't really like the Magnus mid, I guess. Rubik can have some fun things to steal. I mean, I like Magnus as a hero because he's able to create big team fight plays and such, but I don't really like him mid anymore as much. He cannot make the big plays anymore. He cannot kill someone solo when he's level 6 anymore, and needs a lot of help from his team. And who's going to help him right now? I mean, the supports, of course, perhaps, if the aggressive trialing is successful enough, then maybe, but he is not one of those. Well, he can be, but he is not by default one of those heroes that can put you back in the game if your aggressive trialing fails. Especially not since he's going to be up against a Templar Assassin, a lane that Templar Assassin should, in theory, win. The mid lane.
Yeah, it's definitely possible for TA to dominate the lane. The other concern, I think you make some good points. The other concern, of course, is because they have Chen, so they're going to jungle the Chen, and Rubik will probably be able to get better levels than you typically see from a 5-position Rubik. And as a consequence, Rubik is going to get to spell steal pretty quickly. And so they're going to have to be extremely careful that they don't get that RP stolen, because the simple fact is, RP, if both teams have reverse polarity, it's actually better for aSpera, because you just chakram on top of it and TA cleans everybody up.
Yeah. Good luck with that. And on top of that, I mean, the bear Lone Druid is probably going to be at range, fair enough. Actually, they don't really have that many melee heroes, so there may be not that many heroes around the RP that Rubik throws out, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
that's possible, yeah.
If they do get it, it's going to be pretty painful if they do get a good one out. Let's see if there's some nice overlays. We're going to go for the Frosty one or for the Tempest. I guess we can't put the Tempest Wing is...
Talk about UIs?
Yeah. Tempest Wing is...
ESWC Diamond is where it's at. It's really good looking, in my opinion.
ESWC...
It's the one I'm sharing.
You're not sharing anything on my thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I should be. Oh, because it's only people actually in the game.
Oh, that's a shame. I want to now see it.
Not plebs like us. It's okay.
It's the one that is made for with the ticket, right?
Yeah, it's with the ESWC ticket.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go for the Frostivious one. We're gonna see just a winter, even though it's summertime. Never mind, we're gonna go with default, so it looks better.
Okay.
My bad. Sorry, hassle about UIs is very professional.
Just do last season's Starladder UI to represent esports.
True, I should do that. I don't have it activated though, so I can't pick my own ones right now anymore, apart from the default one. Let's take a look at who's playing what. Of course, aSpera, they will be on the Radiant side this game. We have Stompa playing the Rubik. He is going to be supporting Go Audio, who is actually on the bottom lane playing the Templar Assassin. So we're having
not what I expected.
The Timbersaw on the mid lane, played by Sharfik. We're having the Zizou playing the Chen, and he is riding a Tiger, which is always awesome. We have possibly a bit of first blood set up here for Menace, but let's first take a look at Inquisitor, because he's playing the Doom. He's going to be on the offlane.
This, yeah, offlane Doom. I mean, the reason they're doing this, and it's actually really smart, is because they know that, like, dollars to donuts, Menace is going to run an aggressive try, right? So they don't need to worry about the lane for Doom. So it's definitely interesting. I thought for sure it was going to be Timber on the off, TA mid, and then Doom in the try, but this is actually pretty cool. I like this lane. Alright, so Menace, the tri-lane's going to be composed of... No, they are going to run Spin on the offlane after all. So Spin on the offlane Lone Druid, then the mid will be piloted up by Boogie on the Magnus, and then the tri-lane... I don't know. Well, Jerax and Lepiz are on supports, Visage and Shadow Demon, and then Syphilis is going to be top as Gyro. Yeah. Maybe it'll just be dedicated roaming from these guys.
Well, they're roaming straight away. They've smoked up and they go mid. They want to try and take down a Timber Saw. That's not the most easier target, so they changed directions.
Well, he's level 1, so he has no armor and no...
Oh, they find the Chen. That could be someone. Do they have some help? They only are with the two of them. Chen, he cannot get away, though. There's too much damage coming out. Oh, nice telekinesis. It's not enough, though. First blood goes away of Jerax. Indeed, the DD rune making all the difference in the world there with that combination.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, oh, they can't kill him because they have Grave Chill on Visage. And then I was like, oh, wait, no. DD rune is a pretty strong rune.
Yeah, MVP.
Visage has good base damage too, is the thing. Like, it's 53, so with DD you actually do really beefy damage.
Yeah, this Magnus, by the way, is going through hell right now because he cannot... Look at that!
It's really brutal.
Ooh, in comes the disruption. They're gonna try to make a difference. In comes the Steward towards the tower as well. There's no Timber chain up on Sharvik. The courier gets microed away from Sharvik, and Sharvik will end up dropping, I think. Or will he? 17
He will.
One more. There we go. That's going to be a kill going towards Lapis. Shadow Demon, 2 kills going the way of Menace. Are they the ones to break the theme that has been going on today?
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, they have to keep it up, though. The Shadow Demon and Visage are going to have to be basically leveling primarily through roaming around and getting kills, which is a very difficult thing to maintain. Additionally, any time that they're not helping in the mid lane, it's going to be a total mess for Boogie because you're piloting a strength hero against Timbersaw. It's the absolute hardest matchup because Whirling Death reduces your max HP and does damage to you and reduces your auto attack damage. So Magnus, who's already relies on his spells to last hit, is going to have to rely on them even more when usually as Magnus you're like okay against melee heroes.
Yeah,
nice rune deny. That's actually really good.
They're really trying to help out their mid right now. Sharvik
they have to.
Says, you know what, screw you. I'm still going to try and get it, but forces Jerax to actually pick it up. That's a good one. Otherwise it would of course have gone to Bugus, who is not able to help Jerax right now.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, the nice thing is, Sharvik is last hitting well in the mid. Go audio on the hard carry Templar Assassin, which is definitely cool. We're gonna have to watch for what he decides to build, by the way. Might be quite interesting. It looks like he might do Tranquils, and then just go into like pure damage items. That would be unusual, but I don't know.
It could work out. I mean,
treat it like a Luna, I guess.
Yeah, just missed the last hit. Go audio, of course, was the. I mean, until the longest game in history of Dota and international, I think he was still the highest last hitter on the in the game of Dota 2 since TI1.
Yeah, he was actually on his what was his team? I can't remember the team. TCM. I knew that. I forgot for a second, but yeah, you're right. I mean, TCM, he was the highest last hitter on the Phantom Lancer. Fair enough. It might be a little bit easier, but in theory, he should be able to last. He actually had he either had the record for Gyrocopter or was second, so he's a really good last hitter.
We're gonna see how well he does on the TA. So far he's 16-4, which is not the highest last hitting hero on the map, because that's still the Timbersaw on 18-4. 18-1 on the Magnus, so he's also doing really well for himself. And the 17 are the 2 last hit scores for the offlaners. It's both the same, so it's a fairly even game in terms of last hits so far. It's just the 2 kills that make a difference here.
I do think that in the very long run, Menace are probably in pretty good shape, just because Gyrocopter and Lone Druid both offer very good carry options. And Lone Druid in particular is somebody that they really don't have that many tools to counter, because Doom is not going to be tremendously strong against him. Fight developing, though, possibly in the near the top rune. No, they decide not to pursue.
Yeah.
Timbersaw is a really scary hero. Like, as Shadow Demon, you don't want to be standing around there for too long.
Yeah, and I mean, later on, if... Oh, wait a second. Is that going to be something that's a kill Inquisitor trying to run for his life? Already uses stick charges. But that's not going to be chased down by Siflight. Takes a bit of harassment from the tower as well. Might be forced to use his salve. But Timbersaw is able to Timber Chain away from the Ensnare, right? Well, entangle,
Yes.
I should say. Sorry, not ensnare.
Yeah, he can timber chain.
Yeah, so that's something that kind of devalues the ensnare a little bit. So hopefully it's gonna be something that.
Well, it's
Lone
still
Druid-
damage. It's
Yeah.
still yeah.
But hopefully Spin is therefore gonna send the bear on different targets.
But you're right. That's actually why they added that Magnus on 5th pick. Is it's one of the few ways that they can keep Timbersaw in one place for a while.
Yeah.
Like you can look, they really don't have much in the way of disables, right? Like they have the visage stuns and they have the disruption is a disable, but you know you can't like kill somebody while they're inside it. You need to wait until afterwards.
Yeah, and then in case of a Timbersaw, you can just Timber Chain away.
Exactly.
Unless you have a Hex, but they don't have any natural Hex builders in the team.
Okay, yeah, it's just gonna be Basilius for Go Audio, and now I assume it's interesting. He can go either phases or treads. It really depends on how he wants to do this. It's gonna be phases, so that indicates to me that aSpera don't really want to let it drag too much. They're just gonna use that mid-game dominance that Timbersaw gives you. The fact is, Doom will simply trump Gyro for like a while until Gyro's pretty big. So while they have that option, they definitely want to sort of take the initiative.
And Gyrocopter is still also on par in terms of last hits with the carry, so is not really doing particularly well up against well anybody of aSpera so far. So it's very even, and neither can really start trying to fight right now. Actually, Magnus apparently can. Well, can't rather, because he died. Sharfik was the one to take the kill. That was no RP, the Chakram. And that's actually 2 levels now in favor of Sharfik.
Right. Even with the help from the supports, Timbersaw is still going to just... Timbersaw against the strength hero is... It's... trying to find a way to say other than it's just a really bleak affair. And the fact is, Lone Druid is not doing that well either. He's only level 4. It's a tough lane. Like I said, off-lane Lone Druid is pretty rough these days.
Yeah, I like that the bottle got filled by the Visage for Bogus. He had the bottle in the courier that was empty, and Visage was able to pick up the bottle, pick up a rune, put the bottle back, use the rune, or vice versa, use the rune, put the bottle back, and Bogus has a full bottle when he comes back to the lane again.
Yeah, which he critically needs because, again, it's not an easy lane for Magnus.
For sure. In the meantime, there is the bear still, of course, which is now level, almost level 5, Lone Druid. We'll start getting some entangles right about now. There he goes. So he will have that next level bear, and that is going to be needed because his tower has been under siege for quite some time. We do have a bit of a pressure maybe going on to the top lane as well, though. Lapis and Jarek still hanging around Stifla, and once again they're trying to pressure down on the tier 1 tower. So far, though, this tower is still standing strong.
This is probably their one big regret, that they haven't been able to kill Inquisitor, and that they're not going to be able to stop Doom from being able to pick up, you know, Doom.
Yeah, which he now has. So that's going to be Inquisitor level 6. And that's going to maybe be cause for someone to rotate and try and help take a kill up against anybody, really. Disruption will still be there. In comes the TP. That's a Timbersaw. And they're going to be coming in. Doom up on Sifla, and he tries to run for it. He tries to go for it. Timbersaw cancelled his TP, actually. Stompa's still here, but he's just going to defend Inquisitor. And, I mean, I guess the goal was force everybody back with your TPs. I would say mission accomplished. But unfortunately, that's a Doom that doesn't really get a kill. I was going to hope that he was going to try to get a kill with it.
Here they go on Boogie again.
Yeah, that might be a kill. This has a fate. The clap is there. He has an RP. Doesn't have a skewer anymore, though.
Trying to figure out how much damage that Test of Faith did. It looked like it was, like, medium.
Yeah. That means...
It was 197, so what rank is it? No, it was literally the maximum amount of damage you could do. They just didn't have enough to kill Boogie. And they're going to try to turn it around on Sharfik.
Yeah, they have an RP. It's probably the one thing they want to use. There we go. Skewer to the tower. Soul Subject coming in. It's going to be enough. Chakram, Timber Chain away. Sharfik starts the chase, but I don't think it'll be enough. Nope, there we go. Bogus gets him down. A very important kill, I think. Timbersaw, one of those heroes that if you let him do things that he wants to do, you're not going to be able to kill him ever.
Yep. That was a really good kill. Sharfik still only on. He's made bottle, which is smart. He has Urn of Shadows, which is a pretty good timber item. He doesn't need quite as much mana regen early these days, simply because Chalk Arm is so much cheaper. So Urn actually gives you a really decent dose of mana regen, plus the heal is fantastic, because you're going to be getting kills. But so far he hasn't. He's 1 and 2.
Yep. Inquisitor in the meantime with Phase Boots. He's only got 19 last hits. He's holding on to this Tier 1 tower. I mean, the only reason that it still stands is because of him. But he's not getting that much farm, and I'm actually thinking maybe that's not really worth having him on the offlane for. Of course, I mean, they ran offlane Doom. It's
Spin.
Oh, and
he's okay.
No, not entangles. There's an entangle. That's gonna be Gaudio stuck.
Rude.
Still, not enough to kill him.
That's the thing. Entangle is really good against Templar Assassin. When it lands, it takes away pretty much her entire refraction charge.
Yeah. Well, Inquisitor. I mean, they sacrificed Inquisitor's farm because he was on offlane, so no, it's understandable. But I'm quite sad that he doesn't have more farm. Of course, they give more farm to the TA for that, and for Sharfik, of course, as well.
I think SD
And they
probably
might be able
dies.
to get Lapis here, indeed. Timber Chain, Whirling Death, Doom actually used as well, purely because they can. I don't think it was needed though, but oh well. Kill is a kill. Doom gets the last hit for that one.
The main thing with Doom there is if Shadow Demon responds just by dropping Disruption on you and they TP somebody, they can probably kill you, and it's a bad trade. Spin is in a lot of trouble bottom.
Yeah, he tries to find an entangle. The bear is able to force him back.
The creep wave saved him, actually, I think.
Yeah, definitely. They would take the refraction off very fast as well.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would say both teams are advancing their game plan more or less. The big issue for aSpera is that Gyrocopter hasn't been stopped. He's 62 for 14, and he's pretty close to BKB at least. Well, no, he's not close, but he's about halfway. And Lone Druid now finally is getting levels because they released the pressure valve a little bit. And Timbersaw has not had a huge game just yet. So those things aren't really coming together. But what is TA is farming well, Timber is farming okay, and you're getting levels on everybody.
Yeah, basically, aSpera has 3 farming heroes that are doing okay. Menace has 2. And that's, of course, Lone Druid, the one that I'm not counting because he's not doing as well just yet. He just needs a lot more. And that's the downside of putting him on the offlane. You're sacrificing him a little bit. Doom, like I said, got sacrificed as well, but he actually has more farm than this Lone Druid, especially in terms of net worth. We are going to have some help for Lone Druid. Jerix and Lapis smoking up, coming behind the tier 1 tower and looking to maybe gank up on Gaudio. Will be a tough gank, but worth it if they get it for sure.
Nice skewer by Boogie in the middle. He escaped. If he hadn't skewered, he probably dies because Stompa could have telekinesis.
Gaudio tries to run for it. In comes the familiar, disables. Is it enough? Another refraction comes up, and Sharfik.
Timbersaw.
Hello, Whirling Death, and down goes the support. Down goes the Visage. Shadow Demon puts himself safe for a little while longer. Spin tries to get himself out. The Testa spin and the Chakram gets him though. Double kill for Sharfik. Shadow Demon somehow got himself TP'd out. Of course, I still got the TA. Still ended up dead. Visage able to get the last hit on that one, but they lose the Lone Druid for it. And give a double kill to Sharfik, and that's basically putting him back on top for, at least for aSpera for now, and maybe even for more for later.
Yeah, that was kind of an iffy fight, just because Boogie was less likely to arrive at that fight than Timbersaw, than Sharfik was. And when people are clumped up like that, Timbersaw is just going to absolutely devastate you.
Yeah.
He's already level 10, so like it's not like you got him so under level that you don't need to fear him. That pure damage just tears through a lineup like this early on. And Boogie is playing quite conservatively as well because he's so close to that Blink Dagger. He can almost taste it, right? So a big win for aSpera. I think they needed that. They lose audio, but honestly it's not the hugest of deals.
No, they will lose their tier 1 tower though. That's going to be a bit of a pain. aSpera having some extra control there on that bottom lane and taking the first tower of the game actually. So extra gold for them. And that's a level 11 Timbersaw, by the way. That's the highest level in the game right now. The first one to reach level 11. And of course level 2 Chakram. Pretty scary. And he has a double damage rune as well.
Ever since the change that to make Chakram's initial mana cost lower, the having level 2 is just a much bigger deal than it used to be. Because the pass damage is so amazing that you can just toss it in and out and in and out and just destroy people with it.
Let's see.
Yeah, like every time they see him, they just have to run. They have no answer to this Timbersaw yet. BKB for Gyro is a start, but then he's just gonna eat the Doom.
Yeah, he's gonna be the one that will always have to Doom the moment he gets to BKB. There's no doubt about that. We do have the Blink Dagger up on the Magnus though, so that's gonna maybe be some more well-aimed RPs. He's now also level 11. Could mean some more team fights coming out from Menace, who is now gathering up in mid lane. I've got 4 heroes around there, with actually the 2 supports getting popped their smoke by Sharfik that comes from the side. Is actually maybe trying to harass Lapis. He's going for it, trying to anyway. Jarek stuck on the high ground right now. Soul Assumption. Sharfik actually will end up going down, walks right into a couple of more enemy heroes. Doom is already up on Sifla, but he's able to get himself out of there. Lapis, Demonic Purge up an Inquisitor. But he is going to be going away, or at least he's going to be living. And Dangle up on Gaudio though. Will he actually be going for an RP? Bukas has got it. Might be able to go for it. In comes the RP. Up on 2. Cooldown comes down as well. Sifla's Doom has ended, and it shows. takes down the Chen, takes down the Rubik. Will they be able to get more? Go Audio, Refraction is off, and the kill is there. Visage with a double kill, 4 heroes dead on the side of aSpera, and they try to run in. Visitor fighting against a bear that has an entangle in store for him if he can hit him a couple more times.
Or the Visage stun.
Or the Visage Familiars. In comes one, that hits, for sure. In comes a second, that hits as well. The Entangle is really unlucky for this one, by the way.
This is a little bad, actually. Timbersaw's gonna mop him up, I think.
Yeah, in comes a Chakram. Lapiz, you better run. Nice disruption. We'll help him out, but it will still kill him off. I think Urncharge coming in, and Sharfik is gonna chase him down. There's some trees on the side here. Whirling Death, Chakram. Ooh, Urncharge, boom, you're dead. That's gonna be only 1 kill though, and 4 died. 4 for 1 in the end. Of course, the chase.
Good job by.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, like Lapiz did a really good job of not going the same direction as the guy that they really wanted to keep alive, and so they went for the easy kill, which they should have. It would have been difficult to actually kill Spin, but as a result, he saves the Lone Druid. And that's a huge fight for Menace. Anyway, you cut it. Really, really excellent positioning, I would say, is the main difference there. Like they did a good job of pulling their carry, Gyrocopter, Sifla, back far enough that they couldn't pursue the Doom. And then as aSpera funneled in for the fight, they got stuck in this spot and you just immediately RP them and win the fight from that. The other really good thing they did was bring Sharfik down early, which is critical.
And they skewer Go Audio up on the high ground. The Familiars are there as well. No Refraction yet. There it is. Cooldown still comes down though. Go Audio not home safe just yet. Will be sent home by the Chen. That's going to be keeping him safe. No kills happening in this mid lane, but we do have a bit of a standoff. 5 on 5, we're in this mid lane. Disruption is going to start off. Familiar disables coming in. Sharfik still getting stunned. No, he doesn't. He's able to Timber Chain himself away in time as Stompa takes a lot of harassment. Will end up going down. Visage with the kill. Soul Assumption coming in together with the birds. And 1 bird dies for that. But that's a worthy sacrifice for getting a kill, I'd say.
Thing is, I think Menace, they can just nice stun from the Familiars actually, but I think Lapiz at least, possibly Jarex too.
Yeah, Chakram up on 2, Doom up on Jarex, and that's both dead for sure. No hope for them. 1 kill for Timber, 1 kill for Doom. Taking it back again a little bit. And, of course, taking the tier 1 tower with that as well. Oh my god, if they kill off this Magnus, that would be insane. He tries to run. He has got enough life to live through that Urnchart, though. And the tower still drops, of course.
Yeah, they're with Timbersaw, Menace needs those big set-piece fights to win a fight, whereas aSpera can kind of just take a fight whenever and just win based off Timbersaw. Like, so it's a more delicate position for Menace at any given point than it is for aSpera.
I was just remembering that Jarex was sitting on the high ground in that entire fight and was able to get double kills and such.
Yeah, that was neat. The Visage turret, yeah.
Yeah, Visage turret indeed. I almost completely forgot about that. I saw it in the chat when the chat saw the fight that just happened.
Yeah, he was just spinning around throwing. I mean, the Familiars aren't stuck, so they moved around, and then he just sat there and cast.
I mean, you have your most important spells that are ranged. You can hit some. You're just entirely safe. The whole fight was aimed around him, so it's a very good.
Soul Assumption has great range too.
Yeah, was able to snipe some.
The one person that could have really easily killed him was Timber, but they brought Timber down early.
Yeah. Also because of the Visage, of course, that Soul Assumption there hit him quite hard.
Yeah, I still feel like this is just tilting in aSpera's direction, though, simply because they do have this Tricore lineup. Lone Druid has really nothing special. It looks like he might actually go for the Radiance.
Looks like it, yeah.
Fine. Radiance is definitely a good item. It'll be able to bring Templar Assassin. It's really, really good against TA. But aSpera are building 3 cores up. I mean, TA can start going towards damage items now if he wants to, or BKB if he wants. And Doom is well on the way towards his Quirus, and Timber almost has Bloodstone, honestly. He's about 1,000 off.
Pretty strong, and they're actually gathering up on top because that's the last tier 1 tower standing on the map on the side of Menace. By the way, one thing I want to point out is that Chen actually has higher net worth than the Lone Druid, which is quite impressive. I don't know if that's impressive for the Chen or if that's just sad for the Lone Druid, but it's nonetheless. It's
sad. Druid.
Yeah. Tier 1 tower getting almost aggressed in the mid lane here, but Menace didn't know how fast they had to get out of there when those TPs came in. The tier 1 tower top still went down, so no more tier 1 tower standing on the side of Menace. And there's still old towers standing on the side of aSpera. I mean, that's definitely a big difference right there. Of course, Menace is still ahead in kills, but some of those are done fairly early on in the game. And as we say, I mean, earlier kills mean less than later kills. Gold graph is going in favor of aSpera, 6k in their favor. Experience graph not that clear in their favor, only 1.8k or something like that. Ooh,
dead, probably.
Telekinesis. Oh, you're dead. Timbersaw in the end with the kill. Killing spree for Sharfik.
They're gonna need a BKB for that mag, and it's gonna be really tough to find the farm for it because they already have an underfarmed lone druid that's gonna be very greedy, and Gyrocopter is inherently a very greedy hero also.
Yeah. Without that Magnus on the board, by the way, that's a free Roshan. Because no RP means no team fight for Menace. And they would need to get that perfect, or get that good RP again if they want to try and fight aSpera at this moment.
I don't think they can fight. They have to give this Roshan. Yeah. I think.
Well, at least Sharfik is having some fun with the trees. He can't get himself back into the pit.
Well, the thing with Sharfik there is he's disrupting the Visage's ability to disrupt the Roshan, because that's something that Visage is very good at doing, delaying a Rosh just by using stupid familiar tricks. So by jumping up to the top, he forced out a very early stun from the familiar and ensured that even just buying 5 seconds for Menace is enough for your Magnus to get back in. So that was a really smart play from Timbersaw.
Yeah, we now with that Roshan also have the Aegis, or sorry, the Aegis as well as the BKB up on Go Audio, so that's what he went for on this Templar Assassin, so very defensive build. But it will allow them to fight even more. I mean, the previous fight, of course you're gonna still get stuck in that RP, but you're not gonna be getting the cooldown. That Soul Assumption is not gonna hurt you, and you're gonna just be able to stay alive for a lot longer than you otherwise would have. People actually need to hit you to get rid of your refraction rather than it dies from all the attacks that spell AoE damage that Menace can throw out. And then just very strong for Go Audio. He is doing very nice. He's actually highest on net worth right now.
Yeah, I mean, their net worth is just leaping ahead in general. Sharfik in a little bit of trouble, but I mean, honestly, Jarex just has to flee as fast as he can from this fight.
Yeah, Sharfik
I don't think he can get this kill.
Timber Chain higher, nice dodge for Jarex, but yeah, there's others next to Sharfik. It's not only Sharfik that he had to dodge. And down goes the Visage. Makes the kill score back to 9, so it's even again. We do also have, by the way, BKB charge on the Gyrocopter for that. So that was his first BKB charge that he used defensively. 10 seconds BKB down the drain. Oh! Oh, Ancient Stack, welcome. aSpera will gladly take Menace's Ancient Stack.
Oh, that's actually a huge deal, because that's a lot of what Menace would need to sort of drag the Gyro into the... Nice courier kill. Sweet Visage familiar micro buy from Jarex there. Really, really nice. That actually, it's the Ring of Health for the
for sure.
Bloodstone.
Yeah, and that would actually have completed his Bloodstone.
I think he's gonna just buy another one instead of waiting.
You think so?
Yeah,
not patient
I
enough
think so.
to wait 3 minutes?
I wouldn't be.
Oh, he is ahead, so he can actually do it, I think. Depends on if he gets the last hit, perhaps, or if he gets maybe a couple of kills to get some revenge. We'll see. He is able to at least make sure that the creep wave doesn't reach the tower. Tier 2 tower, under siege, tier 2 tower, dead. Basically nothing that Menace can do to stop it unless they get that good RP, but they would need to really 5-man fight that, and they rather try to take some extra gold for themselves on the rest of the map while they know that aSpera is on the bottom end of the map.
He's not gonna do it.
Not everybody is as impatient.
Apparently not. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Menace, they haven't really gotten the timings completely right. And the other main thing, nice. This is really good familiar micro. He's doing a good job. He didn't get it anyway. It does get denied, and he's going to lose one of the familiars.
Yeah, nice disruption from the familiars by Sharfik again, I guess.
And good telekinesis on the... Stampa's actually been telekinesising familiars a lot, because, you know, it's not like there's a fight, and you can get a free familiar kill from it. And in that case, you get the tower deny. I just feel that the positioning maybe hasn't been that great from Menace's supports. Like, they've been in unsafe spots a couple times, and those were a few critical deaths that have forced them to take an extremely defensive posture. Actually, Spin... Oh, they turned wrong. They might get, no, he's fine.
TP out from Jarex. They don't get anybody just yet. They will see a familiar. They might be trying to just force out a fight. I mean, if they don't get a kill, why not take down the tier 2 tower? I think they can take that one.
I mean, Spin is still not at Radiance. It's 23.5 minutes, and he's close-ish, but he needs about, what, 700 more? It's not easy, considering by the time he has Radiance, it almost won't matter that much, really.
Especially now with all these towers dropping left and right. There is, of course, a tower now down in the mid lane. It was a deny, though, so first tower that goes down inside of aSpera is a deny, and right now they have only one outer tower left standing. And they've only taken one tower down themselves, which is quite troublesome, to be fair, for a Menace, because they need that core gold desperately. They need that gold up on the lone druid to get that radiance up faster. They need maybe something more up on the supports, because Jarex, even though Jarex is actually doing quite okay-ish, This Shadow Demon has got nothing whatsoever. He's forced to buy, of course, the wards and everything like that, but he only has basically a boots and magic wand, so he drops very fast. And if you're having a hero up against you that is a Timber Saw with that high burst damage, you're not gonna live very long.
Yeah, I just this isn't out of reach for Menace. I mean, Syphilis still fairly early in his development. He's got his Helm of the Dominator BKB. He can try to, like, if they can continue to exert control over their Ancients, maybe he can start getting back into it. But they're in a lot of trouble here, actually.
Yeah, the tower still
He's
goes
gonna get
down.
doomed.
The doom up
He's
for
dead.
Syphilis still, though. That's not worth
really
getting
bad.
a tower for sure.
I don't know why he should not have gone down there. He should have just TP'd out, in my opinion. Because your gyro is your main route back into this game, is get the gyro big. And that's a tough death to swallow there.
For sure. They got the tower, but yeah, like you said, it's not worth losing your gyro over one tower. And Gyrocopter, even though he is still in the top 4 of net worth, he is still keeping up a little bit with the other cores of aSpera. I mean, he's the only one of his team that is in between the 3 cores that aSpera has farmed up right now. And with the Radiance ready, that's gonna help a little bit, but Lone Druid,
It will.
is it enough?
It's not enough in and of itself, but Radiance does speed up your farm quite a bit. It gives them a viable split pushing option with the bear. And that's good. I mean, if you can pressure aSpera back a little bit, like force them to defend their towers, it's just going to be really difficult. They have a Cuirass, they have TA, they can push quite easily. I just feel like Menace, aSpera, they see this Radiance and they're like, okay, we'll just high ground you. We still have time on our Aegis. No, they don't. I lied. It was done 10 seconds ago.
Well, maybe we'll have our next fight in 4 minutes then, because that's gonna probably be a reason for aSpera to fight, and it's gonna be a reason for Menace to maybe start making their stand. Because with an Aegis, aSpera can indeed try to go high ground. Without one, it's gonna be a lot tougher, especially if Menace is the one that has it. It's gonna be definitely important for Menace to try and disrupt that Roshan, maybe get it themselves if they have the chance. They do get a tower on the top lane as well, so they have got only tier 2 towers left standing on the side of aSpera. But they, oh, maybe they can get Timber Saw here, actually. Tries to Timber Chain himself away with that Haste Rune. It's very tough to get him. Good luck with that. That was a smoke gank smoke from Menace that kind of amounted to nothing. They used 5 heroes for that and didn't get anything in return. And they're actually
I think without Haste Rune they have a shot, but with Haste Rune it's just like, yeah, you're not gonna catch the Saw. His inherent paranoia is too much. Maybe they catch Inquisitor. Yeah,
disruption is there. In comes the Chakram though, and they're actually gonna try to fight. Inquisitor still taking a lot of damage. In comes the Hand of God. He still goes down though, but as does the Shadow Demon. Can they take more in return? Sharfik dominating still. Tries to get something. At least gets the bear. That's a pretty big blow to Spin. He does have a resummon though. Will use it, but only after his Gyrocopter went down. And if Spin goes down right here as well, in comes the RP actually. That hits upon 2. Jen goes down. Triple kill for Jarix on his Visage. He is doing work right now. Can he get more? No. He cannot. He dies. Sharfik with the mega kill streak. Even though Sharfik still dies, it's 4-3 right now. Spin still alive in this. 27 HP. Can he live longer? Go audio. He looks for the kill. Can he get a trap? Yes, he can. Refraction is on. He tries to run for it. Entangles are needed. Entangles are not there. Blink forward. Bugas tries to block him. Should be okay. Should be fine. Oh, that is gonna be double kill for Goadeo, team wipe for aSpera, and that means that is a bear that doesn't have a bear for another 77 seconds. Pretty big fight in the end for aSpera, but not as big as I thought it would be, like maybe 2 minutes ago, before, or 5 minutes ago, let's call it that, before the Radiance. Menace did manage to kill 4.
Honestly, Menace did pretty well that fight, and the main thing there is, the Magnus jumps in, and Inquisitor is forced to sort of just hip check the Doom, so he dooms the Magnus. It was actually a very good Doom. It got him in the middle of his casting animation for reverse polarity. But there's a very important factor, which is if you doom Magnus, you are not dooming Gyrocopter. And so they started the fight by dealing a large amount of AoE damage from Gyro. Sure, the Gyro was brought down eventually. He's losing maybe even both familiars, that's too bad. But that gave Menace a window into the fight. Magnus survived and still managed to use his RP. So if you can force aSpera to use their Doom in a subpar way or earlier than they want to, you have a good shot in the fight. The issue is how often can you actually force that?
It's gonna be trouble. I mean, if this was a bit of a show for Menace to show that they can still fight, I think they still can. We're gonna have to see it again quite soon, because it looks like aSpera's not even gonna wait for the Roshan. They're just charging up mid lane right now. They have got both lanes, both mid lane and bottom lane pushed out, just not the top lane. Roshan actually still gonna be the target for them. Some trees being cleared out by Sharfik on the side, so we can timber chain a little bit more effectively, should it need be. He's just clearing out trees. Called Pete as someone.
I mean, aSpera basically at this point have no reason not to just wait for the Roshan, because they have a much, much better Roshan approach. It's very, very difficult for Menace to do anything about Rosh. They need like a perfect RP. Yeah. But it has to be extremely on point, and you have a very narrow window of time to do it.
Oh, the Demonic Purge upon Inquisitor. Trying to go for it. Disruption there as well as a Soul Catcher, but can't really go in on it at all.
So is Doom.
Oh, Visage might be on the wrong side of the map. Jarex in some trouble, tries to get himself away. In comes the RP, blinking forward, gets himself 3 people there. Inquisitor, the first one to go down, but looks a bit... We already have Visage down the drain though, but he buys back, as does Doom after he died. We have got Siflay turned on his BKB, still got the Doom on him. Tries to run away. Doesn't get healed just now, has negative urn charge as well. Might actually die from it. We're gonna follow him, see if he dies. Yes, he will die, or not. Or... Jesus. 3 HP.
5 HP. 3
HP. That's how he... Yeah, he lives. I was never worried. No attempt for the Knight coming in from his teammate either. They really knew that he was going to stay alive, perhaps. But that's going to be RP on cooldown, and that's the go signal for Spirit to go for Roshan.
Yeah. I mean, that's... With no RP, there's just absolutely no chance. It was actually a pretty good fight for Menace, although, if they had managed to kill Doom...
Oh. Sharfik is
like, if they had killed Doom before Doom, I think they win the fight handily.
Yeah.
Jarex, he's just caught out. Like, the positioning is really weird. His control is really good, and the familiar control is really good, but just gets himself into so much danger sometimes.
We have got the Aegis, of course, picked up by aSpera, and with that, they're confident to go high ground. They've got the Menace Tower for TA as well. Fortification will be put out. They know that there's no RP just yet. Only 27 seconds, though, before Magnus can try to turn this fight around. In comes the Skewer back, gets go audio. He puts up Refraction, still alive for now. He actually gets his Aegis burned, still has a BKB and a Mantis Tower. Sentry Ward goes down, they really want to take him down. Turns on a BKB, gets entangled straight away. In comes the call down. He Mantis Towers out of the entangle, goes for the tower instead. Still Sharfik sitting in the base of enemies, will go down. There's no way he's gonna live through that one. Just in way too far. Tower still standing for now, but only on half HP. aSpera is the one to back out. They'll lose their Timbersaw, lose their Aegis, and that's going to be their fighting potential for a while. Timbersaw actually buys back. Booster travels back towards the middle of the fight. They tried to clear out the creep that he was TPing to, and successfully so. Never mind. He's already here. Looking for kills. Looking for the Shadow Demon, perhaps. Oh, nice melt damage coming out on Siflash. Siflash, a couple hits to go before he dies. There he goes. Buys back straight away. The Lapis, nice disruption. Keeps himself safe for a little while, but only for a little while. Double kill for Sharfik. Also buys back. Jesus, everybody can buy back apparently in this game. Sharfik goes down again. That's the second time within a short period of time where he just gets dropped. Still,
dang. And now they have 38 seconds with no Timber because he just used his buyback.
Yeah.
He actually, his Bloodstone is down to 4 charges. This is probably their best shot here. I actually thought that Timber buyback was really good. Maybe he just pursued it a little too deep into the enemy base, especially because Boogie is really landing these skewer fishes very effectively. And hey, Magnus, off that fight, he got his BKB. That's a pretty big deal.
Yep, it is, actually, they're not going to continue on. That's just, I was kind of thinking they were able to take more from this, but...
Not enough time.
Not enough time, indeed. Timberstall, I mean, like you said, I mean, 35 seconds, not even that long.
Yeah, its Bloodstone is making a big difference for that. I mean, that was an amazing fight for Menace.
Yeah.
They could very easily have just lost. Like, their game was on the point of a knife there, honestly.
And this is basically... This is Menace saying, you know what, you might have won the early game, but we are strong on the mid game as well. And right now, they're going toe-to-toe, I feel like. We have got the gold graph still very far in favor of aSpera. But even with that, Menace is still holding their own. I mean, there's still no tier 3 tower dead. Imagine what they could do if they get the last outer towers on the side of aSpera. We have the experience graph also very much in favor of aSpera. What?
They catch spin. They're going to catch spin. This is not good for Lone Druid. He has to run. Okay, no, I'm wrong. I really thought they just pincer spin and just win the game.
Well, that would be a win. Taking down that bear. It's a big win for sure. But no more Aegis.
He's getting to his own cuirass slowly but surely. TA is still a big problem though. Like, she's really, really big. He still has a 7-second BKB. He's building towards some form of lifesteal. I guess maybe Satanic eventually. I don't think Mask of Madness would be the right call. It would be pretty suicidal. So it's got to probably be Satanic. Or Vlad's. I don't know.
Oh, Mask of Madness. No, I think you're right. Satanic would be a solid choice, especially with those melt hits he can pump out. It's pretty impressive.
He's got a lot of money.
He has got a lot of money. He's got 3k gold. He can already buy the Helm of the Dominator at the side shop if he wants to. Maybe we're gonna see that one, but for now, not just yet. He'll just let us guess for a little while longer.
Yeah. He doesn't have to commit to it just yet until they actually want to make their push. I mean, that's the thing. Once they lost the Aegis, they were like, oh, I guess we can't high ground now. And so that's why that was such a big thing for Menace, was the quick removal of the Aegis. And then Sharfik pursued him in, but the entire team didn't pursue him in. So you end up losing Sharfik, he buys back. Audio gets out, but loses the Aegis. And that's what Menace need to stay alive. They're still in a really, really tough spot, because Gyro still has not that much. He has 3.8k, but just BKB and Helm of the Dom. He could go Satanic, but he just isn't doing so much damage that it's going to be game-changing. He could go Desperapier, but it's so easy to kill him, especially with Doom, that's an awkward position to take.
He might still go for it, though. He picks up the Demon Edge.
I think it's MKB, actually. Probably.
Okay. By the way, for people experiencing lag, please send a report to Twitch. Twitch is having issues with their delay servers, and we want it fixed, so that's the reason why I'm lagging. Unfortunately, not on my side, because if it was, I could actually do something against it, but right now I unfortunately cannot, so please send a report to Twitch. It will help. It will help me for sure, because then they might actually listen to me and make a difference. So click the wrench, send the report, and make sure that we get noticed, please.
I do think that it's... If I'm Templar Assassin, I just keep my finger on that BKB key, and if Magnus even blinks anywhere near me, I BKB, regardless of whether he's going to RP or skewer. Because the skewers from Boogie have been really on point. I mean, that's basically why they survived that high grounding. Was the first skewer on Templar Assassin to kill her really quickly over here, and then the second skewer on the post-buyback Timbersaw to prevent him from getting out. Completely kept afloat by skewers in that fight. And it's going to be easier now that he has the BKB to protect it.
I'm just typing that people should send reports to Twitch, since it is on their end. There we go. I really hope that they fix that soon, because it's really annoying. But oh well. We have a smoke up for aSpera. Maybe they can make something happen here. I was kind of expecting not to see anything happen until the new Roshan was up, which is in 4 minutes from now. But by the looks of it, they're just trying to find someone out of position. Maybe who was able to farm Ancients or something, but Goadio will take that on him. Just trying to starve their opponents out, aSpera. They can do that, for sure.
I mean, Doom has his BKB. Yeah, I mean, aSpera, they have more map control. They can keep farming 3 heroes. They can get, eventually, Satanic for TA. He did a detour into Chrysalis. I think that's actually better than getting the lifesteal first. So, it's... You now deal enough damage to actually justify being able to get those huge lifesteals. So, Audio is going to be really scary. Timbersaw is pretty much going to stay his current level of scariness. He's not going to do much more damage than he's doing now, but he might add something like a sheep stick on, and that'll be very effective. And Doom, he still has room to grow. BKB is a big deal to ensure that he manages to get that Doom off.
Yeah, with this Assault Cuirass, he actually is completely poor. Cleaned out his bank account for that Assault Cuirass. But
we're going to try to get the next Roshan, I think, too.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody is waiting for right now. Menace also not trying to really force out a fight unless they can find someone who is indeed out of position. And Roshan is going to be the next deciding factor once again. Who takes it and who can have a margin of error to try and go high ground, trying to make things happen. And with that Gem of Truth set up on Lapis, Menace is able to try and just make the map a little bit smaller for aSpera perhaps, and take control over the Roshan pit.
Yeah. I still think that aSpera pretty much have control over this game, but it's definitely some hope for Menace. Whenever you're the people with the Magnus, there's never not hope, because a big RP can completely turn it in your favor. But Magnus is actually they're all in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Magnus already got doomed off, so no RP on the board for now. There's gonna be Brugus already dead. Can they find more is the question. Somehow Jerex is still around. Again, we're kind of troublesome for his location. Does go down, no surprise there. Soul Assumption doesn't really do that much to Stompa, who was able to stand steal Gravesteel from him. That's really 2 heroes dead.
And those were, I think, resummoned familiars, and they're both gone.
And there's no buyback up on the Magnus.
and Rubik has familiars, and you don't have... Oh, do they really not have Magnus buyback?
No,
He's
75
50
gold.
off.
50 off
Oh,
now, yeah.
man.
This is troublesome. It's really troublesome. This is gonna be a set of racks. They can't do anything without it. Maybe Spin can make something happen. Olap is too close. He dies. Cooldown still comes down, trying to stop the push. Sifla getting telekinesis, turns on his BKB right now. Flat Cannon tries to keep himself up, but the tier 3 is already dead. And right now he has to run for his life. Can't do so though. Is already dead. This could be more than just one set of racks. If they continue doing this, the buyback is still there from the gyrocopter. That's gonna definitely help out. But is it enough? It's at least enough to make sure that there's no more than one set of wrecks taken down.
And Roche off the back of this, they only need 1 more minute for the next Roshan.
That's going to be something that Menace is going to try and compete though for.
I'm actually not sure if they can. They might try to do it just out of desperation, but it's going to be incredibly difficult. Magnus doesn't have buyback. Gyrocopter now doesn't have buyback. So if you lose that, you lose the game, but maybe they feel that they must.
They're still smoking up.
They may try to sneak it too. Will their smoke actually last long enough? I don't know.
Probably, actually. No.
Iffy.
There's no, well, actually, there's, no matter how long they wait, they have a trap in the Roche pit, so no way of sneaking it.
Right, good call. I mean, I guess by sneak it's just try to kill it before aSpera can respond,
Yeah.
but they can kill Roche quickly, but not so quickly that they can't make any countermeasures. And Go Audio, I mean, the hard carry Templar Assassin, he's got 20k net worth, he has Daedalus, Manta Style, BKB, and Lifesteal. It's in pretty good shape. He's doing, you know, after with Meld, what do his auto attacks do? Like 700 damage without critting?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. Oh, this next Roshan is gonna be tricky. We already have Roshan being attempted, indeed.
You can just solo it.
You can just solo it. Blinking RP is needed to stop him, but you don't want to go for a solo RP, so this is gonna be an Aegis going the way of Go Audio. This is also a Cheese, though. Aegis already there, Cheese still on the floor. Gonna get the Knight, perhaps? No, in comes the Doom, already up on the Magnus. No RP this fight. Visage, Gyrocopter already dead, both of them, and no buyback this time. Lapiz will be the next one to fall. Sharfik gets himself a kill, and that's gonna be 3 dead on the side of Menace. I think it is almost safe to say that unless Boogie gets himself a 5-man RP, even then I don't think there's gonna be any way, especially not with the bear going down here. There's gonna be Sideblade's killing off the bear. There is indeed a resummon, but
he'll die though, probably.
Yeah, looks to be the case. Sharfik and Go Audio not afraid of tier 3 towers. Look at the melt damage Go Audio. It's just insane right now.
He's got buyback. But this is probably the last set of wrecks.
Yeah, we already have the tier 3 in the mid almost dead. We have got the tier 3 in the top getting aggressed on by Go Audio, who now joins his team.
I just don't see how they would have won that Roshan. Like, I don't see any way that they could have actually been victorious in that Roshan engagement. Like, maybe, okay, like, try to gamble your Magnus, I guess. Like, send him in, and if he dies, you can buy back, and if he doesn't, then he steals Aegis or Cheese. But don't send the entire team. It's just a fight you have no hope of winning. Maybe you can high ground defend.
Ooh, gets an RP up on Go Audio only, though. Hand of God helps Go Audio out. BKB turned on by Magnus, he's just running away. Sharfik might die though. Sharfik will die actually. Lone Druid dies as well though, and he doesn't have a buyback anymore. There was, however, a buyback for Sharfik, who has Boozy Travel, so he's already back in this fight, is able to take down the Gyrocopter, who already just died, and now indeed, there's the GG, and it is true. I think a lot of people lost a lot of rares today. You know, there's a lot of unknown teams here. Yes. And it's like the first game, KP versus... Oh, sorry, spoilers are gonna be coming in, so if you haven't seen the games just yet, don't listen. KP versus CD. Oh my god, KP must win that, because that's a known team, and I don't know who CD is, and then CD beats KP. So then you think for the next game, CD versus Poseidon. Well, I don't know who Poseidon is, but CD, they look so strong up against KP, so I'm gonna vote for them. Wrong again. Then you're gonna have the next game, Poseidon up against Menace, and you think, well, Poseidon wants from CD and CD won from KP, so Poseidon has to be the stronger team. I'm gonna vote for Poseidon. Nope, wrong again, and so on. So we are having ourselves a game where, in the end, if Dota worked this way, Menace triumphs, or sorry, aSpera triumphs all, but unfortunately that's not how Dota works. Well, I say unfortunately. Right. Fortunately, that's not how Dota works, luckily for us. But still, great games today, I have to say.
Good game, Sam. This last game was interesting. Menace did a good job of attempting to stabilize. In the end, I just think some of their late game positioning could maybe use some tightening up. They played well, but like when they got caught out as 3 in the bottom, I think that was actually the what spelled doom for them. They still had a chance to come back up until that point, and then that was you see this like point at which the ball just starts rolling and never stops, and that's where it was in this game.
Yep. aSpera victorious, getting themselves a point. Well, every team gets themselves a point today, apart from KP.
No.
Oh.
It's only because they didn't play twice. If they had
That's
played
true.
twice, they would have gotten
That is
home.
true. If KP would face aSpera, the circle would be round, and
Exactly.
well, that is gonna be the case then, at least for today. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow as well. Let's take a quick look at what we're gonna see tomorrow. Not all games are confirmed just yet, but I will still call them out. We have Poseidon again, this time up against Next KZ. Then we have Next KZ up against Menace. Then KP again up against the team that qualified through the qualifiers. Dusa will be up against KP, and Quantic versus Menace later on that day. So those are the teams that are the games that we should have happen. Like I said, not all confirmed. We'll have them confirmed later on tonight, I hope. And possibly Vickermon co-casting with me again, but you're still letting me know that.
Yeah, maybe. I should be around. I'll let you know.
Okay, cool. So, any shoutouts and pluggings for you?
Nothing much today. Thanks, obviously, to StarLadder. You and I were commenting on earlier how it's an extremely well-run tournament. It's
Yeah.
always great to see it, and it's cool that they kind of ring in the new year of Dota, and usually they like close it out too. So because it's run on such a efficient schedule.
Yeah.
So thanks to StarLadder, and thanks to you, of course, Shiva, for having me on today, and to the viewers in Dota TV and Twitch. I know there's some Twitch issues going on right now, so thanks for bearing with us, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big shout out to the viewers for me as well. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. I hope that's gonna be fixed tomorrow. That's my hope. I mean, sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not fine. It's really awkward to find a pattern in it, unfortunately, but I hope it was still watchable. Anyways, shout out also to Vickerman and also to Canals for co-casting with me earlier today. And we'll be back tomorrow, starting off with Rapture Gaming League and then following on with StarLadder. So a lot of Dota tomorrow again as well. So thank you for tuning in, and stick around for watching some commercials to support us, because that's awesome. And yeah, have a good night otherwise. Oh, and I think the Big Point Battle qualifiers are still going on Joe Dota Blue if you want to continue watching Dota. But I'm not sure. They ended very early yesterday as well, so they might end early today as well. I don't know for sure. Anyways, that was it. I'm out.